Well, the trials just never stop. But you know, I'm going to be very, very happy because happiness is a choice. In fact, there's a book out there that says happiness is a choice. And as I started walking, I started to be able to see the grass. Look at this. And the ferns. Wow, and the flowers. I've got a whole bunch of papers. The top portion is I'm helping my Auntie Thione with getting some refund back for her airline ticket because she's canceled. So, and then I ran out of ink, so I got to get the ink. See, ink cartridge here. And then I got to get a notary down at the bank. I got to get some money in the bank. And I haven't eaten breakfast because we don't have food. And so I'm a little bit tired. It's already afternoon. So I'm okay. Not complaining. Just vlogging this stuff so people can see and my kids can see how I deal with stuff. Anyway, I went to start the van and the starter is completely out. It's just grinding. It's obviously a starter issue because I got the engine all nice, but I knew the starter was going to be a problem. Everything goes out at once. The truck, so I really needed the truck. So I went to get in the truck, and when I went to start it, it started right up, but the starter kept going and going and going, and it wasn't the Bendix stuck in. No. When I pulled back on the ignition, the starter continued to go. So even with it just spinning and the Bendix not hooked, it's just bzzz. So that's kind of crazy. Anyway, I don't have time to fix it right now. Plus, you know, I live here, so this is Hawaii, and I'm just trying to get some projects done and trying to do something worthwhile, and it's been hard. Look at how beautiful it is here. It's just beautiful. There's a creek down here. Yeah, I hear the water running. You know, just being by myself, and then my mother came over to help, and she's not able to do anything. In fact, it's wonderful to see her, but it's taken more of my time helping her and taking care of her because she can't even walk, and she's in a health program. But I love her being here, so that's been great. But I was hoping she could assist a little bit. Look at this beautiful creek. Look at that, lava rock. Look at this beautiful creek here. So I'm gonna keep walking. I really needed a good, reliable runaround car to get all this stuff done, but that hasn't happened because the van has become my house. The truck is always full of stuff. It's like 8 miles to the gallon or something like that, I've been told. It has a big 4x12x20 beam on the top and a big palm tree hanging out the back. It's not really the runaround car. And but I did use it yesterday to run around. My arm's getting tired. So if you've ever heard of the Kolapa House of Charity, well, obviously we don't have much money. Yesterday I was talking with a good friend, Dane, here on the Big Island, and he saw the logo on my YouTube, and he's like, well, why do you still have that when the place is gone? Well, you know, I'm not laughing because it's a dumb question. I'm laughing because it's such a big subject to tackle, but I'll try. The Kolapa House of Charity was a place that came and went, but the building is still there, the address is still there, and actually the people involved are good people, and they're continuing to do something that they want to be focused on ministry, on Jesus, on a ministry related effort of some sort that has to do with the Bible and teachings of Jesus. So, you know, the place is still there. I'm not Kolapa House of Charity, obviously. So that's that. But the logo I designed and patented and copyrighted which I also animated. You can go to YouTube and do Kolapa logo and check it out. That I've branded, and I've gotten over 25 million views. And in fact, one little video, I got a call from Hollywood offering me $7,000 for $6,900 basically is what they said. I was thinking, why not 7,000? Anyway, let me be absolutely accurate. $6,900 they offered me, and they weren't overly excited. They just said, we'll give you this if you want it. Fine. Not, no, it's okay. And I said, no, I don't want to, because I know the value of the Kolapa logo. It has more value than anything, and certainly worth more than $7,000. So I'm not saying that I'm a big Donald Trump fan. I'm not saying I'm not a big fan. I'm just saying something here about him. Okay? His name. He knew about branding. He knew how to brand his name. So here he was $400 million in debt, and he looks at a homeless bum there in the front of the building, and he said, you know, that man's richer than me. And he was right. Kind of. Except that he started realizing that his name, and the bank started realizing that his name had enough value that he was able to pay the interest on the $400 million, and they continued to loan him money, and he was able to get out of that financial crisis. So, hey, does that make any sense? Do you understand what I'm doing? You know, people can take away properties. They can take away houses and lands, but they can't take away the passion that just burns inside my heart and in my soul to love people and show them charity. Charity isn't money. Filipinos kind of have been taught that. It's not their fault. They've been taught that because of the charity sweepstake organization. So they think, and in the dictionary, English dictionary, which is published in the Philippines, it says charity is an organization that takes money from the rich and gives to the poor. But actually, charity is a word derived from the Bible. I mean, it's obviously an Old English word, but in the Bible, charity means love. 1 Corinthians 13, read it. And love, it could be money, but it's not so much. Mother Teresa, who again, I'm not saying I'm a big fan, and I'm not saying I'm not a fan, okay? I'm just mentioning her name because she had an organization called the Sisters of Charity, and she didn't give money or take money. What she did was she gave love, just a hand on a forehead. She just gave a little kindness. She gave them a bowl of soup, picked a body that was almost dead, but still breathing and able to see, picked them up on a cot, stretcher, took them into a room where they could die with some dignity. Those were acts of love. So the Kolapa House of Charity is definitely not a place. It's a concept, and it's a growing vision of people all around the world who believe in Isaiah 58, who believe in Matthew 25:40, who believe in the whole concept of Matthew 25 and what we do for Jesus and the person of the poor and suffering has some actual meaning and value to our lives, and is pertinent for our the effort of our lives as a Christian. We need to be doing this. In fact, and I'll end with this, Matthew 25, in a book called The Desire of Ages, has a chapter called To the Least of These My Brethren, and it says when Jesus comes, there's only two classes, and it refers to them as the sheep and the goats, and it says Jesus is separating them one from another based on what they did for him and the person of the poor and suffering. And that's what his decision turned upon, that one point, and their eternal destiny hinged on what they did for Jesus and the person of the poor and suffering. So I think that's important for people to know. And I think in order to be able to do things for others, we need to be a walking example of healthy living, which some of us are not. So the Kolapa House of Charity is a small modular school that teaches people how to be healthy and active in their community in a way that inspires people to be living a life that is not about themselves but about others, which really is about Jesus. Because when you live for others, you're living for God, you're living for his Son, you're living for heaven. And that's all I have to say. So, guys, I'm here walking. I'm happy that I'm walking because I wouldn't have been inspired to say all of this. And thank you so much, Elaine, for coming and picking me up. She just called and said she was going to come and pick me up here. And she even has my dear mother with her. So here's the logo. And here I am in beautiful Hawaii. What do you think, guys? I want to thank Jan and John up there in Canada for helping. You know, we were so low, we didn't have money. Well, I don't have food and I haven't had money to buy anything with, but they donated a small amount of money, which is huge actually, to us, not to us, but just to keep our substances up enough to where we can exist. And so it takes real careful management to get through these times with very little money. I can tell you one thing, you cannot sleep at hotels, eat at restaurants, and if I ever have an opportunity to sleep at a hotel or eat at a restaurant and I can turn it down and use that money for the poor in the Philippines, I sure would do that instead. Okay, bye-bye.